Hi, Chitrangda, and thank you so much for being on SpotboyE. This was long overdue, and
Thanks, Vicky.
you have kept your promise. I must say that.
Yes, I have.
I really want to get into this Chitrangda, the actress today, as an actress. The acting, you're acting. So I
Okay.
want you to tell me your three best movies, your memories on the sets, some of the incidents which happened, whether it was a goofer, whether it was a shout from the director, whether it was something you wanted changed, something, or where you were stranded somewhere. So anything. I mean, I'm just shooting off these points. Three films, three directors you worked with, which and why their
Hmm.
working styles, and three scenes of yours, which you
And memorable, you're saying,
which
yeah?
you see, and you say, "हाँ, ये तो मैंने बहुत सही किया है." I mean, just being candid about yourself.
Yeah.
So let's start with the three films, where which you would like to really list down, and perhaps in the order which you want, as one, two, three. That will be more candid.
Hmm. I mean, I would, obviously start with my first film, Hazaro Khwaishein, number one. Then I would say, um, I think, so I also liked Sorry Bhai. I mean, there are not too many people who've seen the film, but there were these one or two scenes in that which I thought were very nice.
Okay.
And I also have very fond memories of that because I think मैंने almost 5 या 6 साल का break लिया था. 2003 में हमने खत्म करा था, like finished the shooting and everything
Yeah.
for Hazaro, and then I took a break, and
2008.
then
Eight you came
the
back.
film released in 2004 though,
Hmm.
but I think I came back in 2009.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's like how many years?
Five.
5 years, yeah. So so yeah, for me, I mean, it's kind of special in that way because I was obviously very jittery. So
Hmm.
I'd say some bits of Sorry Bhai. I also like Sorry, but I also like In Car, the
Okay.
other film with Sudhir.
Hmm.
Um, there is this one scene in Bazaar which
We'll
I
come to
kind
the
of
scenes, but you're saying your three best movies are, if asked, one, two, and three. The first one you said is Hazaro Khwaishein. Second is Sorry
is
Bhai,
Hazaro.
very dear to you.
No,
And the third is
okay. Let's say Hazaro, In Car, and then there are bits of Bazaar that I really like. Yeah,
okay. So you'll select these three from that whole bucket, as okay.
yeah.
So let's start with
With a very small bucket of films that I have. Yes.
yes, that's fine. I mean, that's your choice, and it's not that you have done some uh, any random work, that you should be,
Yeah.
scurrying for cover or anything. But let's start with Hazaro Khwaishe. That why do you select it? That's number one. You're putting it as, right.
Definitely. Yeah.
So and why,
Definitely.
and what are the memories that you have about it?
Oh God, I have too many memories of that film. I have too many memories. Why number one? For a lot of reasons. Of course, because it's my first film. Also, I think when I look at it now, I remember how I was feeling. I know that it was so there was so much of nervousness. I was so naive. I think all that innocence or naivety, whatever you might call it, I think that kind of comes across on your face. So now when I look back at me then, I can see all that in the performance as well. Like that scene in the jail where she's probably going to get raped, and so that, I mean, that was a really difficult scene, and that was the scene that I auditioned in front of Sudhir. I
Oh,
mean, that was, he thought, was the toughest scene for me to sort of break out of my, for a non-actor, to not uh, be as bare as possible. So that was very difficult for me to do. Uh, so I think when I look at those scenes, there's nothing rehearsed, there's nothing schooled. There is this, I guess, a kind of innocence you can't repeat, because you look back and then you try and check yourself and be
yeah.
smarter with your performances with every film that you do. So obviously, for that reason, that's very special. Um,
Any other memory from there? Anything happened on the sets? Anything?
Oh God, it's like, it
You said
was
you have many
crazy. We
memories.
shot outdoors. For me, everything was first time. First time a movie camera. First time acha set pe kaise hota hai. Everybody has to be quiet. And then, like, I mean, every single thing. I was looking at everything. Light man, sound recordist. It was very interesting. The the DOP was from France. He was a French guy, and he would wake up before everybody else in the morning and sit and wait. And I remember he would sit with Sudhir and discuss the scenes because he didn't understand Hindi mein kya dialogues hai, kya ho raha hai. So he would first, before we even left for the shoot, he would sit, I remember, in the lobby of the hotel, and he would understand ki kya hai, what is the emotional this thing of the scenes today. And then he would light it, or he would try and play his camera according to that. I mean, there's so many things. So I would just sit and listen to that. And and there was Saurabh, and there was KK, Saurabh Shukla, KK Men. And KK was the most, of course, Shiny and I were like, you know, we were the new, fresh out of this thing, off the boat. But he was the one who had done a lot of theatre. So he was very... So he would sometimes tell me about my character graph. I still remember, हम पता नहीं कहाँ पे चाय पीने गए थे. In Bhopal, I think it was. We had some time in between. So we went to some local cafe, and I remember talking to him, ki kuch, you know, help me out. Like, I don't understand what's happening. Also, we were not shooting in order. So, and Sudhir is really not somebody who will sit and spoon feed you anything. He gives his actors a lot of space, a lot of room, and that's the way he works, you know. So I was really grappling. I was like, kuch, like, tell me, like, somebody tell me what to do. And I think now when I look back, it's probably the best thing that he could have done. He just left me. He just let me be. He would tell me, he would only tell me कि emotionally scene में क्या हो रहा है. He would only say कि अच्छा यहाँ पे थी गीता, उसके साथ ये हुआ, आगे ये होने वाला है, and this is where she is emotionally at the moment. Now go ahead. But he'd never tell me what to do. So he would just, for someone who's first time on screen, on like in front of the camera, I found that very sort of scary. But now when I look back, he was like, I knew you'd get it, and he saw that I mean, he said that I could see that you were getting it. So why did I have to, you know, tell you what to do?
Such an accomplished director, and you know, you being
I know
a new actress is a new actress, all said and done, even if she's comfortable on the set after a certain point of time. But were there scenes where, you know, where he gave you the space, but you know, you floundered and you went over the top? You know, these are the things which a director like Sudhir Mishra, you know, I never see like an actress, you know, going over the top, you know, to hold you in check and all.
I don't think I'm the kind of person who'd go over the top as an actor.
Probably. No, I mean in those days, I mean,
yeah, in those days also. I think that's also a lot of me, who I am as a person. And he really played with that, you know, for the character. And it's sort of, I mean, I don't know if that's what he had in mind, but I think Geeta Rao played out like that also, a lot like how I was as a person. Like on set, even when I wasn't in front of the camera, you know. I think maybe he used it. Maybe I mean, of course, he's such an amazing director that he uses these nuances or these characteristics that you have naturally in you. Like even for Shiny, that little smug arrogance, that little, you know, the smugness that he has, he used it, and he used it really well. And for KK, the kind of integrity he has, even as a person, you know, I think when I look back, he really used all these qualities of us as people. And then he just kind of played with it, you know. Maybe he did that, and that's why it looked so easy. I mean, with the performances, it seemed so natural. I don't know. I'm just sitting here and talking to you. I have no idea.
He must have told you at least that what he saw in you, you know, that okay, this is going to be my central character. I mean, what did he see in you? Auditions are auditions, fine, but you know. At one point, a director.
The audition बहुत बुरा था, Vicky. My audition was very bad. You should ask him. I was laughing so much. I didn't take it seriously. I don't know. You know, I've never asked him that. Maybe I should. What was it? I mean, I know that he was. So I must tell you this. So when I came to Bombay for my 4th audition, I had already given 3 in Delhi. Because Sudhir kept sending Swanand back. Swanand Kirkire was taking my auditions. He kept coming back and he said, "Nee, actress nahi hai, theatre nahi kiya, isko fir se karo. So we kept doing. And then he said, "Acha, now I will take the final audition myself because I need to be sure."
Yeah.
And I knew that he was looking at Nandita to play the part. So So when I came to Bombay, I got to know that this is who the other option. I was like, I mean, I was like, "Ye kya hai? Why have you even called me to Bombay? There is no chance, you know. I'm a non-actor." So I was not so sure if I was going to get it. And then he decides to give me that scene in that scene when she's about to get raped by this policeman.
Yeah.
At the police station, right? And I don't know. I think there's something about the fact that I thought I'm not going to get it, and I just went all out, and I did what I could, and it kind of worked. But I don't know. I don't know what it is that I mean, the reason you asked me the reason, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I need to check with Sudhir.
But you knew that you were competing against Nandita at some point. So
I only know, that's what I said. I didn't know till the time I reached Bombay for my 4th audition. It's only when I reached here,
correct, but even at
and the
the
first time I ever came to Bombay, actually, ever. I'd never seen the city before. And that's when I got to know that Suruchi Narayan was the first AD of the film. And yeah, that's where I got to know that Nandita is the other
correct.
person
But at
that
the
they are
4th
considering.
audition also, Chitrangda, I mean, you are competing against someone who is I mean, there's no need to describe her at this point of time.
Of course. I mean, she is brilliant.
Yeah.
She's
So
that's the kind of person that he was looking for. Dusky, more Indian, more
yeah.
more
More
like
earthy, yeah. But I got that. But when you're doing that 4th audition, now when you have versus Nandita, now this new girl, which is you, there are 2 ways to look
yeah.
at it. Either you lose your confidence, you become nervous, even though you reach 4th audition, once you realize, you're pitted against whatever, or you become doubly motivated, very determined. Which of the two happened?
It was something in the middle. It was like, I know I probably am not going to get this, but let me just give it my best shot. It was something like that. And I think also because I didn't have this clear ambition of wanting to be an actress.
Yeah.
And even the audition is something that came by. Luckily, it was a coincidence that somebody suggested my name. I mean, I was thinking of music videos, maybe some modeling, some ads.
Yeah.
That's all. Honestly, that's all that I was thinking. And this came by, and I was like, "Acha, theek hai, okay, let's do it." And my sister was at NSD, so I knew that a lot of NSD actors were getting auditioned for the film. So I went. I mean, and yeah.
So we'll go on to the second one.
Thing.
The second film, but I must say that you fell in love with the city so much, you came there for the first time, that somewhere in your heart of hearts you said, "No, this is my city. I just want to be here."
I mean, I left the city for 5 years, 6 years, but I came back, and now when I look back, I feel like, I think maybe there's like destiny. There is something called destiny.
Obviously,
maybe there is something called these coincidences and fate and whatever because I left and I changed my number. I mean, it was over for me. It was literally like finished,
And I must say, before you go on to the second film, somebody I need to mention, you don't know, there's this guy called Amit Khosla in Mumbai Mirror, whom I used to work with. And when you announced your comeback, and we did, I think, a very long interview with you, almost a full page, we carried it on the lead page. So we were in the edit meeting, and in the edit meeting, we used to decide that who is going to be the lead story. So in every section, I mean, whether it's sports or entertainment, and I was a part of the meeting, and Amit was just rooting that it has to be this story. I mean, so to be very honest, I said, Amit, but I mean, one film, second film, third film. I mean, what are you trying to say? Why should this be the lead story? He said, no. He is a big fan of yours, and who can be more beautiful than her? These were his words. That's
oh my
all
God! So where is he? What does he do now?
He's still with Mumbai Mirror. He's still with Mumbai Mirror. We are in touch.
Please thank him.
Yeah.
This is like 15 years down, but yes, please thank him.
Yeah. So my editor, I think, Meenal started just laughing, the way he, expressed his emotion and all, blushing, and said, okay, fine.
Oh,
Thank
you.
And those were the days when we were very, very, very hard on what is going to be our lead story. no, why should this be a lead story? Even if you have got a very good story, try to get a better one till 9:30, 10. Can this become the second story?
Wow.
Those were the days.
Those were the days, I tell you. Yes. And I made it in those days. So thank you so much.
No, you made
That
it.
means good.
Definitely, you made it in other films also. You're acting in Inkar. I was going to come to in this whole interview. Really, I mean, I just was mum, when I saw you in that movie. It's such a strong piece of acting that was. It's not a piece. I mean, for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. But coming to your second, which one are you putting it as? Second, you said was
I think in car. In
Inkar.
car,
Yeah.
yes.
So we are coming to that. And why?
Yeah. So
What happened?
um
And some memories, what happened? I mean, and it was not an easy role. There were some scenes where, you had to come out from your
yeah.
comfort zone, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean,
Yeah.
it's easier said than done today with web shows happening and, these kind of bold scenes or
It's
bold dialogues. But, even now, I think as long as you do it with conviction, or even if you don't
yeah.
do it with conviction, these scenes are never easy.
They're never easy. Actually, it's also the way you're playing, what the scene is. So the
Yeah.
scene, if the scene is about a lot of anger and anguish, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just lust and sex and love, but there is anger, and there is possessiveness, and there is this anguish and need and desire and everything put into one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then the scene becomes really difficult,
Yeah.
because then you're not just playing with your body and being all sexy. Then
Yeah.
you also there's more aggression with it and all.
Yeah.
So when you have to do like a mix of everything and maintain all of that, I think that's when it gets difficult. So that you're not just playing one emotion. And even, I mean, thanks to Sudhir, taking somebody through every scene, what I love about the way he directs is that he really makes you go through every single layer of emotion that you're feeling through the scene. And I think what you end up doing is that you end up catching all those emotions at some point through that scene, which is what makes it interesting. I mean, that's an exercise which I've tried to do myself now. When you sometimes don't have the help of a director or somebody who can take you through like that. But I can now analyze it. I didn't know it back then, but now I can look back and analyze. That's what he does. So coming back to what you were saying, that if these scenes are difficult, yes, but I think when you're not really so much conscious of what's happening with your body, but where you are emotionally, it becomes slightly easier, I feel. But yeah, of course, it's a closed set, and then, I mean, all of that is there. You're taking care of all those things. There are not too many people in the room, and it was very easy working with Arjun. He was amazing. He
really complimented you very well in that movie.
He was superb, because there is this very how do you
vice
say,
versa also, you complimented him because his part was also, I mean, he was the, I mean, there out there,
yeah,
whom you were actually opposing. So
there was a great chemistry, and it was like this simmering anger, that and that little desire and everything, which was so and that was the main thing in the film. That was the most important thing between them. It was just simmering all the time.
Any cues you took from or you thought about people who were in office and they had to undergo these kind of things? Any experience from friends you imbibed or you recollected, whatever?
I actually, so, I'm forgetting the name of that person, but he was working with Sudhir, who was heading one of the, I'm forgetting the name of the agency, but one of the leading ad agencies in the city. So he was he was heading that for a long time, and now he was moving into movies and filmmaking. So he was on sets with us, and he told me about so many of these cases that have happened, even around them in ad agencies, especially ad agencies, so he told me so many of these, and the fact that as much as they're very modern and very open-minded people, especially in an ad agency environment, but still women were not being heard, and it just was usually just brushed under the carpet. And so yeah, I mean, a lot of these cases.
I mean,
So
pertinent
that's, and
question
some
to
women
ask
also.
you.
So they made me meet them. He made me speak with them about their
Okay.
experiences. So yeah, I did do that.
So you knew their plight and whatever, yeah.
Of course, and I mean, it really amazed me. Mujhko laga ki nahi yaar, we are like, educated lot, and especially very free thinking people when it comes to ad agencies, especially there. So yeah, it was actually quite an eye opener even for me.
But pertinent question to ask you, and I mean, before we move on to the third film, that, there was this Me Too movement, and it just, chala gaya aake thode din ke baad. And, you have also been a part of the film industry, I mean, since a long time now. So
Yeah.
have you had experiences like these, meeting wrong people, you understand what he's saying, and what has actually happened, some, if you could just, I mean, of course, without taking names. I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't like to take
Of
names.
course. I mean, there are people like this everywhere, I mean, I'm talking about my modeling days also,
Yeah.
right from there on.
Yeah.
So it's not just the industry, it's probably everywhere.
Yeah.
Some people have told me the corporate industry is just as bad. So yeah, it's happened. Of course, it has happened to me. But at the same time, I have to say that the industry is a place where nobody forces you. You see, I mean, it's not like you'd ever feel forced into something.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever felt like, oh my God, something's going to happen to me right now. No.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody will ever. I mean, there's enough space or respect or whatever you might call it there for what you want to do or what your choice is.
Yeah.
Having said that, you do feel bad that you sometimes lose out on certain things where you feel you're expected to do. Yeah, you do feel, of course you feel bad.
I mean, you lose your opportunity as a
you lose your opportunity. But then those are choices that you make. I mean,
yeah.
And then
therefore you don't sulk, you're saying. Much.
And you don't sulk. Yeah, I mean, it's a choice that you make, kind of life. And I mean, maybe here it is about sexual favors and other favors. But if you go out in the world, there'll be other kind of favors that people are looking for. So there is always this sense of,
balance.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you were to get a little, if you sort of get out of that and have a perspective on it, I think that's the way the world runs, right? And you make your choices and you live by them without crying wolf and whatever not. I don't know. That's just my point of view. I'm not taking away anything from what people have gone through, and I'm pretty sure it's very, very tough, for a lot of girls, and I'm not taking away from that at all. Really, I'm not sitting judge on anyone at all.
So that's how basically you keep your sanity and peace intact. That's what you're saying. You balance it out and somehow don't sulk. That's how, I mean,
it feels bad. I mean, Vicky, it's not like.
No, I'm saying when you lose the opportunity. So, and then.
Of course it feels bad.
Yeah, it feels bad, but you keep your peace.
I have lost a few. But, at the end of the day, if you feel comfortable doing it, please go ahead, do it. I mean, it's your moral judgment. It's your decision. I don't sit judge on anybody, what they do. And, and what you're not comfortable doing, you won't, Yeah.
Any bizarre incident?
I can't remember. I choose to
forget. Very bizarre. I mean, something which is really like, I mean, how bizarre does it get?
I can't remember. If I remember, I'll come back.
Well, fine. So, movie number 3, which is on your list after Inkar.
So, Bazaar, the film that I did, recently with Saif. I mean, the part really wasn't that much, and I knew there isn't much of it. But the one thing that the director told me was that I needed to bring a lot of, how do you say, a lot of integrity and respect and a lot of grace and the sense of this woman,
Yeah.
who's married to this really rich man, and she's supposed to be this
Yeah.
empowered woman, but at the
Yeah.
same time she's really weak,
Yeah.
and it was her presence. So I still remember Gaurav and Nikhil, both, they were talking to me, and they said that we need someone who can bring this through her presence. It's the way she is, the way she conducts herself, the way she probably looks at him. So it needed to be a lot of in my presence, so to speak, because it was really about the men in the film.
But that role
So
was
for me,
bothering me. I wanted you to come out and do more. I mean, I felt, I don't know. I could be wrong. I said no. Chitrangada is.
I can send you Gaurav's number.
I wanted to.
Nikhil's
I mean,
number.
I wanted to see you having dominate some scenes there. You know, uh, I think that balance somewhere. I know you're proud of that role, which is your entitlement. Fine, but
See, I'll tell you why. Because I had very less to do, and I think I still managed to make like enough of a impact within that. Is why I thought. I mean, for me, that was really a challenge at that moment.
no, honestly, why I'm saying
But
is Chitrangada is not to flatter you because you're an A-lister when it comes to acting. So there are no two opinions about that. I mean, if anybody has a doubt, then I think, then perhaps you're not being utilized in that movie. So, and that's what I exactly felt there in
I
that.
would have loved. I would have loved to do more.
Yeah.
I would have loved to do more. Really. I mean, I wish. I wish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's go to 3 best directors very quickly, and why.
Well, it'll have to be Sudhir. I've done maximum films with him, But I really enjoyed. I'm really enjoying working on this film right now that I'm doing, Bob Biswas, which is being directed by Sujoy's daughter.
Yeah.
It's her first film, and Sujoy has written the film, of course. And so this is like a continuation of Kahani, the film that he directed. So I'm really enjoying working on this one, and I really like. I like the way it's being directed by a woman, So it's I'm really enjoying this one. I mean, I don't want to talk too much. I'm not supposed to talk too much about the film at the moment, but it's a central role, and
you seem to be comfortable and enjoying that. Yeah. So I was asking you about Sudhir. When do you go back and forth and or even after the movie is made, is there that you have that liberty? Okay, I'm comfortable with this person. No, you need to cut this scene. Yeah, it's not happening. Or if he cuts a scene and you tell him, where is that scene? I invested so much in it.
That I don't think I can tell him. He gives you so much liberty, and he's somebody who's who really enjoys when an actor has an opinion. He really enjoys when you disagree with him and have a point of view. And it's amazing the kind of patience that he has with all actors on set. It doesn't matter whether you're the central character or you're not, or primary cast or whatever. It just doesn't matter. He has so much. I guess there are this kind of directors who like to work like that. I mean, that's one person that I've worked with who really enjoys the difference of opinion, and he encourages you to have an opinion and come with it. So he never shot down anything that I came, and it was always okay. He would at least tell me, "ये मैं सोच रहा हूँ, आप ये सोच रही हैं, ये ऐसे होगा, ये ऐसे है," or whatever, and I'll see the point of view. And if I don't, I mean, he'll still shoot the way he wants to shoot it and tell me why, which is great, Like I really would like to thank him for that, because that's one of the reasons I started writing. Because so in Car, the scene in the bathroom, when she goes in after him and to confront him, is something that he let me write.
Oh wow!
So bits of that scene are written by me, and he said, "I want to see a woman's point of view."
Exactly. Yeah.
So when she goes right up to him and she says that, what they think I'm a bitch just because they think I slept with you. There's this line, something like that. I'm forgetting what the exact dialogue,
Right.
but that's like something that I wrote, and he said, let's keep it in English the way you said it, because that's how she would say it.
Yeah.
And so he really, I mean, if you coming with something, you've thought of something, and you are contributing to that scene in some way,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
really gives you that
No, I
space
think
and
I think
encourages you, which is great.
there I think he wanted you to, what you would have exactly felt. Tell me in words.
Exactly.
Tell me in words, in
Yeah.
your words, because
Yeah.
I'm looking at it from the other side, but you have got into the skin of the role since a long time,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's what I
Also,
called.
as a woman, I mean, as a woman who's feeling, um, like abused and everything, and being left in a corner crying, he wanted, like, how would you react if you met this
Yeah,
man in the
yeah.
room? And so he would really encourage me a lot to write, if I came up with something, which is fantastic. I mean, you look for people like this who enjoy when there's a difference of opinion.
I'm sure he will agree with me that you're the A-lister in acting.
Sorry?
I said he will agree with me when I say you're an A-lister in acting, which I said earlier also.
Oh, thank you.
Okay,
Thank
three
you.
best scenes. When you look at them,
Um,
you say, yes, I have done a marvelous job. Let's be very, very candid. It's not being boastful. It's just being honest.
so there's the first scene I've ever shot in a film, in Hazaro. That my first scene was in that guest house when she's waiting for KK's character to come, and she's lying in bed and she's just waiting for him to come. So there's this anticipation and there is guilt because she's cheating on her husband, and she's come to the guest house to meet him. And wo mera pehla scene tha, of my entire career that I shot, and there are no dialogues on it,
Yeah,
So I really like that scene because Sudhir just left it to me. So I know it was all me in that one shot where I've thought of him, and I open my hair because I'm thinking of him, and I sort of get up from the bed, and it's just a slow movement. I open the curtains because I'm waiting for him to come in.
Yeah.
So it's like a very slow,
Yeah.
I really like it because I like the energy that I had in that scene about me. In fact, even when he comes to bed, and then there's this bit of a lovemaking thing that's happening, and she's not sure, and she's like feeling guilt again because of what she's doing, and she's questioning herself in the middle of that. So I really like that scene, even though there are no dialogues in that. So I like that scene.
Second, that's number one. Two.
I don't like myself too much. I'll always find some fault in it,
I think we all say that, but
help me. I don't know.
We all say that.
See, in Car, I like in Car, I like that scene.
That
this is what
scene
you
which
want,
you
and
wrote?
she kind of, even that scene in the bathroom is really nice. Actually, no, that's the one that I would like to say. That's the one that I like.
Yeah.
The one in the bathroom.
Yeah, that was
I
quite
think
a major highlight of this.
Yeah, and I also like what all is happening, and I did have a couple of things that I differed on from Sudhir, but I love that because it's such a charged scene with so much happening and so much of emotion and revenge and anger, and he wanting to put her down, but he wants her. It's like I love these kind of scenes, where there's so much happening at the bottom of it. Yeah. So that'll be my second.
But what was that one thing which if you could tell us that one thing where you differed with Sudhir on that scene, some particular, which I actually asked you, sometimes you.
I can't remember what exactly. So I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was. I think I wanted that confrontation to sort of carry on after he tries to kiss her.
Okay.
So he tries to kiss her and she slaps him, and then I thought maybe if she kissed him and then pushed him away and then like walked away, it'll be even stronger and like an answer back. But obviously, I mean that's my opinion at that point. But he thought it was nicer if it just ended there and she just left him cold,
And before we conclude with your third scene, I must tell you, I love that film. It was isme Thehrav bhi tha, and it was pacey also. That kind of a balance to strike. Because it was not like rushing into like a typical episode of a television or something, of a crime or something.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
plus it had it, so it was pacey, but it had that thera and so much, and the scenes were longer, which you, I mean, that is lacking
Which
today.
I
Let me be very
love.
candid with you, huh? So that is very
Yeah.
lacking in most of the movies. Scenes are not long. Scenes
It's
are just
very,
current.
and
Yeah,
I think I like that. Like I like a couple of scenes in that actually,
yeah,
which were quite long.
yeah,
Obviously, there were a lot of scenes which were long because of the kind of
yeah,
film it is.
yeah,
But yeah, I really like quite a few scenes in that.
yeah,
I also like that scene when she tries to pull him in bed and she's kind of opening her shirt and like, this is what you want. Like, is this what it is? And she's so jealous and she's so possessive.
yeah, yeah,
Um, Also, when he tries to pin her down and she feels like, okay, he's
yeah,
sexually harassing me. He can't take a no.
yeah.
I really like those scenes. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
many movies, so many. I mean, and plus about this, despite the premise of the story, always I think every movie has the premise of the story is 2 or 3 lines, but still it didn't
Correct.
look repetitive despite so many confrontations and despite so much of anger at your end, at his end, fear, whatever. This
Yeah.
it didn't look like repetitive. Why is it happening again and again? When is this going to
Yeah.
end? You know, because there is.
Also, I think the narrative helped because we were going back and forth from that room, which was so quiet. So I think that really
Yeah.
helped
Scene number 3.
and kept it. Okay. Scene number 3. I don't have any other that I like so much. Let me think.
Anything? Sahib Bibi or Gangster, Ye Sali Zindagi.
Hmm. I think my third scene is yet to come.
Okay.
I don't have one. Uh, I quite like that scene with Irfan's character dying, in Yes Ali Zindagi.
Huh.
When he's,
Huh.
I think we shot it, when he's saying "Ma ka Rajma Chawal," there's this line that comes, when he's almost dying and she's got him. I like that scene. It's not like I like my performance. I just like that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I can't think of any that I like so much.
Yeah, it's quite natural. Sometimes, it's not necessary that you have to build up too many emotions in a scene to, you know,
Exactly.
yeah,
It's just
just
like for me,
seamlessly.
that scene, in Hazaro when she's in the car, when Geeta is in the car and she's crying and she's got the baby, and there is this letter which is going over, and it's kafi. I think it's a night scene. It's a night scene, of
Hmm.
course,
Hmm. Hmm.
and there is there's a letter in the in the voiceover,
Correct.
dear Geeta, and there's this starts off, I love it. There's
Yeah.
nothing. There's no dialogues and there's nothing. And she's just sitting and the car is moving and she's got tears, like she's tearing up and, she's going to leave her child. I
Yeah.
really like that scene. So I think sometimes it's not really so much about the dialogues and all. It's just the moment that you have, which, kind of works. Yeah.
So I don't want to say a bye to this most powerful actress. I'll be in touch with you on
Oh,
the phone, and
thank you.
you should
But I
also
have
be.
to compliment you. It's really interesting talking to somebody who actually has a real love for cinema, and it's not just because you like what I do, but I just mean like generally, it's nice, and it's not about just finding a headline somewhere. It's interesting. It's interesting to see you like this, Vicky.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Chitrangda. It means a lot. And please stay in touch.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. Stay
Yeah.
safe. I wish we just come out of this period of frustration.
I know.
I think it's
I
now
hope
really hit the ceiling, and I hope it's a
seriously.
matter of time. Thank you so much for being
I
on
hope
Spot
so.
Boy. A big thank you from
Thank
the entire
you.
team.
Thanks so much. Bye, Vicky. Take
Bye.
care.